Illustrator gives you a lot of options for applying strokes, widths, and colors to object paths. And one of my favorite features in Illustrator is the ability to apply a color gradient to a path. You can create some really cool effects with that.
The first way that I'll show you how to apply strokes is with the control panel on top. The file I have open is called Leaves, and you'll find it in the Chapter 5 folder of the project files. And the leaves we have here are just one single object. And in fact, if you go and click on it, you see the whole thing is selected. And when you have it selected, take a look over here at the color boxes, and you can see there is the green fill and the stroke is empty. We have the slash through it. So leave it selected, and up here, I think that's probably the easiest way. Click that drop down and choose a color. I'll just choose a dark blue, and you can see it there. But let me zoom in on it. You can zoom whichever way you like. Let me just get rid of that dialog box, and I'll just hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and roll the wheel, so now we can get a better look. And you see, when I applied that stroke, Illustrator automatically just gave it 1 point. And you also notice that it's even all around the edges of the leaves, on the inside of the leaves. I'll go over here and maybe make it, let's say, 2 points or 3 points, and you can see we have that same thickness all around. Maybe you don't want that same thickness. Maybe you want it varied a little bit. Over here to the right of the size, you have this variable width profile. And click that, and now you could choose some others. You might wonder, well, what the heck is that? If you click, you notice that there's a little bit of what's called stress. Thicker in some areas, thinner in other areas. And you can try some of the various options here. And the thicker the stroke is, the thicker the weight is, the more obvious that width profile will be, just because there's more space to work from. I'll choose something that's maybe a little bit more pronounced. This one, I think, is good. And nothing says it has to be just straight lines. Over here, where this little drop down says Basic, these are different brushes. So you might want to choose something a little different. Some of them will look better, some of them won't. I'll just undo that. I'll just show you some other options. If you go over here and bring up the Brushes panel, go down over here to the Library button, and I'm going to go down here to Artistic and then choose Calligraphic. Stretch this out. Now most of these are going to be too big because this is a 1 or 2 point stroke, and many of these you can see the numbers are very high. But if you choose maybe this one here, let me move this out of the way, you can see you have a nice, interesting effect. So I'll leave it up to you whether you want to keep that or not. I'm just going to close these panels down. I'll zoom out. I'll press Ctrl-0 or Command-0 on the Mac and deselect. And you can see we took some plain, basic, flat artwork and gave it a little depth, made it a little bit more interesting.